Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you. Respected Associate Professor Basumatary, respected Dr. Hemanta Musahari, Assistant Professor, Dr. Biswajit Brahma, Assistant Professor, and Dr. Ruby Datta, Assistant Professor, Tezpur Law College, and their students. I have been invited as a speaker today to address the freshers' meet as well as the pre-Boisago celebration by the Bodo Literary Society of Cotton University. Indeed, I am very happy that I have been invited to be among such young youths of the society who are the future of our community as well as the country. Unfortunately, though I am a Basumatary, but I can't speak Bodo. So that's something that I always regret, because I come from a place called Basumatary, Tezpur. We have everything else is there, the culture is there, but we have lost the language over there. So unfortunately, I can't speak the language. I understand a little bit of it, but I can't speak it. So basically, I'll be delivering my speech in mix of Assamese and English, if that's okay. Yeah? Is that okay?
Okay, sir.
Which is more preferred, Assamese or English?
English.
English. Okay, great. That makes my life easier. It's really difficult when you have speakers like Romeo speaking before you and then you go into the dais to address the crowd. It's really difficult, but still I will try. And today I won't talk much about studies here because, I think Wari sir has already spoken quite a bit what you should do as a student and how you can build your career as an academician and other things. I'm being an entrepreneur. I would share a little bit of my own experiences, as well as I would try to talk about my life and what I learned in the college. I did my college from St. Stephen's College, Delhi, and I think many of you would be knowing. In fact, before I went to Delhi, I wanted to come to Cotton College at that point of time in 1992. I wanted to do economics, that maths, economics and statistics combination, which Cotton College used to give at that point of time. But somehow it didn't happen. But many of my friends in Delhi had some or other link to Cotton College, because I think anyone in Assam who has done liberal arts or science have mainly studied in Cotton College. So many of my friends who have joined me in college in graduation have either done their plus 2 from Cotton College, or many of them who have done graduation from Cotton College had come to Delhi University to do their higher studies. So I know a lot of Cottonians. From that I know what Cotton College meant at that point of time, or what Cotton University. So you all should be very proud that you have got admission in this prestigious college, not only in Assam, but I would say in the entire country, one of the best universities that you have got admission. So you should be proud of where you have landed till now. College would provide, or the university would provide you, apart from studies, other opportunities as well. This is the time when you have to build your character, I would say. This is the time when you build your personality. This is the time when you would build the kind of attitude you need to have when you go out and face the world. I would suggest that each one of you must associate yourself with some other activities, some co-curricular or extracurricular activities apart from your studies. Because that is equally important to build your character or to build your personality. I hardly remember what I studied in my graduation days or I studied in my college. But I still remember those days where I had gone and attended a very good talk. In my college, we had a lot of societies, like we had planning forum. I still remember we had, in planning forum, we had invited at that time T.N. Session, who was the Chief Election Commission. And he delivered a talk, I still remember, in the lawn. It was so crowded that the hall could not accommodate the participants. So we had to shift the venue to a lawn where he had addressed and he had told us how he was trying to reform the electoral process in India. I still remember listening to Pranay Roy, how he started NDTV. I still remember listening to Shobha De, the famous author, how she had written so many books and how she, as a empowered woman, what was her thinking. So involvement in these kind of activities, I think, are equally important to what you do to get good marks, good grades. Now, you are in the college, so I consider you to be grown-ups and quite mature because that is what we were at your age. I had gone to Delhi to take admission of my own. Unfortunately, nowadays we see a lot of middle-class parents, taking their children, going everywhere that their children goes. They do not allow their children to even do minimum that they should do independently. But in our time, after class 12, I took a train and went to Delhi to try my luck in Delhi University. And I got admission. I could get admission in one of the best colleges in the country. So I consider you to be matured enough. From now, what you need to do is try to define what does success means to you. What exactly is success for you? For some, it can be becoming a good academician, getting good degrees, really learning the subject well, going to the depth. For some, it could be becoming a very good musician, or becoming a good filmmaker, or becoming a very good sports person. So it's high time that each one of you try to define what exactly you want to do in life. Because I can tell you, 80% of you, I'm sure, do not really know what you plan to do in your life. Am I correct? How many of you are very clear what you want to do in life? Can I have some raised hands? Good. At least I see 2-3 hands. But we were also like that. When I was your age, I wanted to become a civil servant. The fact that I went to Delhi was because I wanted to become a civil servant. So I left engineering, I left medicine at that point of time and went to Delhi because I wanted to become a civil servant. It's a different story. I could not become a civil servant, landed up being a banker. Then now I am an entrepreneur. But I went through my own journey of trying to find out my calling in life. And I wasted a lot of my time in life, I think, because I could find out my calling at quite later stage of my life. If I was clear when I was studying in the college that what I wanted to do, if I would have jumped into it right after college, probably I would have been doing much better than what I am doing today. Because time matters. Time is the most important resources that we have. We have only 24 hours in a day. So we all have come with a limited time frame in this world. And we must make good use of that time. So first thing that I would like to ask each one of you to introspect and ask yourself what exactly you want to become, or what exactly success means to you. Is it the materialistic fulfillment? You want to become very rich? You want to have a big home, big house, big car? You want to travel the world? There's nothing wrong, okay? I'm not trying to be judgmental or I'm trying to pass judgment. Everything is fine. If you want to be a rich man, that's also good enough. But you have to figure out if you want to be rich and find out how you can become rich without doing anything illegal, of course. If you want to become famous, then what would bring fame to you? You have to ask yourself and figure out if you can do that right now at this age or at this stage. I'm sure you will get your success in life. After so many years, for me, what does success, how do you become successful actually? I think it's very easy. You decide what you want to do in life, or what you want, or what success means for you, and you keep trying for it. The perseverance, persistent, not giving up. You may fail once, you may fail twice, you may fail thrice, you may fail many times, but you still don't give up. Then one day you will see success. So once you decide what does success means for you and you work for it, I'm sure you'll be successful in life. I'm greatly influenced by two books that I have read in my life. One book that I have read was The Power of Habits by Charles Duhigg. In that book, the author says that we all are nothing but collection of habits. We as a person are nothing but collection of habits. And he has also explained scientifically how our brain works, how habits we cultivate, and how it becomes, how we automatically, once it becomes a habit, how we automatically keep on doing things once it becomes a habit. And how it is very difficult to, give up a habit, whether it's good or bad. And I really believe that each one of us are nothing but collection of habits. So if each one of you pay importance to the habits that you are cultivating as an individual, I think that will help you in your life. Once you cultivate a habit, it becomes very, very difficult to, give up that habit. So try to figure out the things which are good for you and try to cultivate good habits, because you are still young enough to cultivate good habits and give away the bad ones. The second book that I have read, which has also greatly influenced me, was The Growth Mindset by Carol Dweck. She is a psychologist. We all are born with certain amount of talent or intelligence, whatever you call. But there are two kinds of people in the world. One are the ones who are with a growth mindset, who always believes in learning new things, who always believes in growing as a person and learning new things. And there are people who are with a fixed mindset. She gives a lot of studies, psychological studies and examples while writing this book. And in fact, she is quite famous, corporate speaker today. A lot of big companies invites her to speak to the employees so that the employees can be motivated, the employees can be, motivated to give better performance. The ones who are with a fixed mindset, they think they cannot learn new things. Motu imane, motu capability imane, motu imane jana. They are always afraid of failure. The ones who are with fixed mindset would be afraid to fail. But those who are with growth mindset would take failure also as learnings. Because unfortunately, in our society, we condemn failure. We look at failure as, something which is so bad. But the societies who do not accept failures can also discourage people to become entrepreneurs. And that's the reason why we do not see too many entrepreneurs in our society, because what we only want is, our children to be topper in the class, always top the class, first division lage, first rank lage. Mane, children kiman ki grow korise ba learn korise ketu matter nokore kintu position to lage. So amak tenekwa the environment ami damor hau karone ki hoy, ami amar bhoy lage je ami fail hom, moi jodi etu koribo noaru ki hobo. So I stop taking risk. Moi jikhini safe, mane jikon moi bhabu moi jikhini koribo parim ba moi jikhini mur capacity ase moi himan khine korim ba himan khine koribole try korim. Moi tatto beshi try na korim. So that's typically a fixed mindset. But a growth mindset person will never give up. And life is a learning process. It's not that you are a student, so you need to learn. We learn throughout our life. So I would even request, if you people, those who wants to read, must pick up these two books and read. I'm sure they will help. Now briefly about what we are doing and briefly about my own journey. I come from a very middle class or lower middle class family in Ghoramari, Tejpur. We are 4 brothers. I was second of them. I did my primary school in the village. Then I studied 2 classes in the Hamboro High School, Higher Secondary School, Ghoramari. Then I went to Sainik School, Gwalpara. Did my plus 2 from there. Went to St. Stephen's College, Delhi. I was lucky enough to get a seat over there. Then I took admission in PG, but could not, I didn't complete it then. I took admission in law. But in the meanwhile, there was a lot of pressure to take up a job, so I joined initially Union Bank of India as a probationary officer in 98 January. Then in October 1998, I joined State Bank as a probationary officer. Worked mostly in Uttarakhand and Delhi and a little bit in UP and Rajasthan. In 2010, I became chief manager, one of the youngest chief manager in the bank. In 2013, suddenly I decided to quit after 15 years of my service in the bank. Because I went to Delhi because I wanted to become a civil servant and wanted to come back and contribute to the society in a way that I could have done as a civil servant. I wasn't very happy being a banker. So decided to quit suddenly. I left my job. I resigned. I didn't take VRS. Many people ask me if I have taken VRS. When you take VRS, you get pension. But I resigned, so I don't get a pension also. 2014, I came back to my village and I started a small venture called Udayasal Ventures. Udayasal, I gave the name because in 70s my father was involved with the Udayasal movement. So I thought, why not give the name So I used to jokingly say, like, আপোনালোকে তো পলিটিক্যাল ৰেগুলেশ্যন কৰিছিলে, মই এটা অৰ্থনৈতিক ৰেগুলেশ্যন কৰিব বিচাৰোঁ, চ' মোৰ সেইটো কাৰণে নামটো উদয়াচল বুলি দিছোঁ। Many of you may not be knowing Udayasal movement of Vikarakan. Initially it was the Udayasal, separate state of Udayasal, which was demanded. Then the borderland became the focus of the movement in the 80s.